guys, this is Jomar. Today you're gonna learn the 14 things you need to know to work online as a virtual professional. Okay, so let's get started. Thank you very much for my singular guest as of the moment, si Alex. And thank you for taking the time. If you're listening to this right now, thank you for taking the time to listen. And because this is going to be valuable to you. Okay, so what is a VP? First of all, virtual professional. Jomar, what is that? So that is a human being who works on the internet, and at the same time, he is not an employee. He is ang tawag dyan ang tawag sa kanya ay independent contractor. So technically speaking, this person is a freelancer. So freelancer ang tawag sa mga ganyang tao. Okay? So recently, this idea has been very popular because of the pandemic. A lot of people have experienced how to work at home. Yeah. So parang, okay, hindi na siya bago, right? Tama, hindi naman talaga siya bago. Working at home. So this one is not really the same as working at home when you're actually an employee, because when you work at home as an employee, you're kind of subject to the time in, time out stuff, which we don't have when it comes to the world of online work. The time in and time out only happens if you seem to have been enslaved by your client, and the client says, oh, you should tell me when you're logged in, and you should tell me when you're logged out, and stuff like that. Normally you don't do that in the situation of a virtual professional, because in a VP situation, your client is really interested in results. Okay, results meaning are you supposed to make these social media posts, blah blah blah. Then if you did it, if you did the social media post, there is no conversation of when you're timing and time out. Okay, so that's the big that's a one distinction. But that's not the topic today. Okay, I'm just giving you an overview of what the VP is. So virtual professional just works for the results that clients want them to give or to perform. The time in and time out, being available during the time zone of the client, those things are fairly, what do you call this? Depends on how unprepared the client is to work with you. Some clients, they don't understand it much, so they still consider, okay, you have to be in my office or you have to be logged in. Ganyan. Hey, I have to spy on your screen. You might be playing some games, and how can I trust you and all that stuff. When that happens, then you are probably dealing with a person who is not ready to hire you anyway. So, and just really wants an employee. So that's a big deal. There's a big difference between a person who is there in my world now, working online, and a person who is really prepared to earn online as a freelancer or a virtual professional. Okay, so let's proceed. Let's show you the first. Where's that? Sandali. I'm gonna show you. Where is it? Ayan. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna. Oops, what's that? There's sound. Okay, I gotta get rid of this. I put some sounds. That's so bad. I put some sounds. Pasensya na. Ala, walang sound eh. Meron palang sound. Okay. Presenting. Dahil lang po may sound pala yung ginawa ko, which I didn't really, anticipate. Okay, here it is. There's animation and sound. I forgot their sound. Okay, the first one, I'm gonna go through this very fast. Okay. The first one is you need to learn how to make a portfolio blog from scratch. Now, just some definitions. Portfolio means proof of work. Okay. And a blog doesn't mean you're going to make a diary. It just means that in that website, there are dates on when you created the work and when you posted it. A blog is like a diary, but it doesn't have to be personal. It just needs to have entries with dates on it. Though normal practice today when people make blogs, they remove the dates, but it looks like normally a newspaper, with no dates. So ganyan ang portfolio blog. You need to learn how to make that. Why? Because it shows that you have skills without showing off a resume. Resumes are normally one pager, so doesn't really tell people how good you are or how excellent your skills are. But a single scrolling page full of proof of what you know and how you can do stuff. It has videos you've made. It has social media posts you've created. Even those posts that you create for strangers, like dead gurus like Jim Rohn, you make posts for those people and then you put it in your page. It's really good that people see that because they can see your skill. So a portfolio blog shows off your skill. Now, if you're an essayist, you write. So the portfolio blog doesn't have pictures and videos. It has articles. So Jomar, where do I make these? It depends. You can make it in Medium. You can make it in your own website. You can make it in a website that specializes in portfolios. Yeah, there are places like that. You can make it in Fiverr. As long as you have a place where you store all showcasing your skills and talents. For example, if you are a coder, you develop apps. I mean, at least have a GitHub, right? Because you're supposed to show off. Okay, so that's one. No, the second one is you should learn how to make a cover letter from scratch. And for me, that's very easy if you just follow this instruction. You take the job description of the job, you erase the stuff you don't need, and whatever it is that the client needs, that's in the cover letter. I'll give you an example. We are looking for someone experienced in Java for more than 2 years in the applications of health. So that's what the job description says. So all you got to do is look for the word, remove the word interested in, and type the word. You get the words Java for more than 2 years in the health industry. And then you put that in your cover letter. That should be very easy. Okay, I do have a training on that where we actually take a job description and convert it into a cover letter just for fun, and see how you can see in the training how hard people struggle with, wow, they're just gonna copy the words and they're still struggling. Even if I told them you just copy the words, but that's fun. But at the same time, if somebody asks you to make a cover letter, this is exactly what they're asking you. Copy my job description with no grammar mistakes into a letter. That's it. Okay. Okay, number 3, if you have the inkling to increase the number of possible clients who will hire you, one way to show off. Now remember, the portfolio is used to show off. No, show off without talking, because you can show off you talk to clients. You can even show off if you listen to clients. Like your listening ability is like 10 times bigger than your writing ability, or your blogging ability, or your graphics ability, or your writing ability, or your video editing ability. If your listening ability is so high, you can show off. However, if you're not talking to the client yet, then how do you show off? Well, you can show off by using WordPress, a paid WordPress website, and put your portfolio there. Why? Because a paid WordPress website means you know how to navigate around WordPress, around the thing called WordPress. And navigating something like WordPress is a big deal. Okay, it is a big deal. So for a lot of people, they don't understand it, right? But for many people who actually matter, also known as clients, then knowing how to navigate your way around WordPress, all its complexities, allows them to consider hiring you because of that single skill, WordPress. Okay? You might say, Jomar, it's now Facebook, it's no WordPress anymore, there's Medium, all that stuff. So no, Medium has been around for a long time. Facebook has been around for a long time. It never really replaced WordPress as a place to be in. It's WordPress powers like 60 or 70% of human beings' websites around the world. It's not something that will simply just go away because you say TikTok is the game, you know? TikTok may be the game, but it's not gonna kill WordPress. That's not how it works. Okay. So fine. WordPress might be a low on some people's minds, but on clients' minds, if they can hire you to do like graphics at the same time you can take care of the WordPress, they're hiring you for two reasons. Well, the others are being hired for one reason. So which one do you prefer? Why would they hire you more than the other? Well, maybe because they would hire you because of that singular other reason. You know how to use a WordPress plug and you can prove it. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Our next one is, do you know what WordPress plugins should you use? Okay. WordPress is a system for creating websites, right? However, WordPress alone doesn't work like a magic thing. No, it's not. That's not how it works. It has to use plugins. And plugins, there are about a few, I don't know, a million plugins to choose from. And if you don't know which plugin to use, then you're just gonna be totally lost. It's easy to be lost in the world of WordPress plugins because it's hard. No, it's very hard to know what are you going to use. So if you knew that there are like 10 essential plugins for entrepreneurs, for people running online businesses, then it would be advantageous, especially if you go into a website and you see, oh, wow, this potential client doesn't have this plugin. You would know, even if you're not inside their system because it shows outside. So it would be very, very, what's that? You look, pogi points, ganda points, if you have experience in these WordPress plugins. It's like, you're a mechanic at the same time you also have experience with hybrids. You have some specialized knowledge, parang ganyan. Okay. An example of a WordPress plugin that's essential to any business is a security plugin. Which one do you use in WordPress? And you can just say no. Saying no means you know nothing about what you're doing. Like, what? You don't care about security of your website. You should be using a security plugin because WordPress doesn't have that. There are only two big ones. You should know at least one or the other. Yeah. So knowing there are a small list of plugins is very essential because using 100 plugins in a WordPress website will slow it down. So people don't want that. They want a few. Okay. So the next one you need to learn is you need to learn how social media really works. Like, what are the engagement secrets? So that when you do it for a client, let's say you're doing SMM for them, social media management, you know it will not work, and you know what works. Now, throughout the years of handling other people's social media, I've noticed that what works before still works today, and some that worked before are now banned. But people still do it. Like, for example, hey, I'd like you to vote, a like for this option A. Send me a heart for option B. That's essentially bawal pala yun sa Facebook, but people still do it today. Yeah. But before, it was very, very popular. Before Facebook says, oh, let's ban it. But now people still doing it. They don't care if Facebook bans it. They don't care if Facebook bans them, because the world is different today. If you run a Facebook page that is giving money to Facebook, or that is political or popular, Facebook doesn't really care if you violate them. It's different today. Okay. So anyway, knowing social media engagement secrets, like for example, in my group, we know the secret to 1,000 new human interested followers in Instagram. We know the secret. We've done it many times, 20 plus times, times 3, 60 times. Bro, I taught people to grow on Instagram from 0 to 1,000 plus, 2,000 plus in a span of like 15 days to 30 days. That's an engagement secret. Okay. And up to today, people don't know because we keep it a secret. So if you are hired because you have more Instagram followers, real people, than your clients, isn't it crazy that they can hire you to grow their Instagram and you will succeed if you only you knew the secrets? Yeah, you would. Well, I've had students who have 3 Instagram accounts, all of them from zero, and they all grew to 1,000 in a matter of 30 days. So you must know these kinds of secrets. Yeah. Okay. Now, here is another one that if you go into the world of WordPress, there are traps. In many instances in business, online earning, there are traps. And you need to know what those traps are. But on top of that, you also need to know how to escape the traps. Would you like to learn that? Escaping the traps from WordPress. Because, yeah, a lot of people are expert in WordPress, so they know how to escape the traps. I've been caught in these traps before, so obviously I know how to escape the traps. And if you go into that direction, you need to know. Otherwise, you will cry, and your client will cry if they no longer have access to the WordPress because they weren't able to escape the traps. Okay, let's go to the next one. Next one is, how should you prepare LinkedIn, which is free? This is your free portfolio, by the way. How should you prepare LinkedIn so that people will be attracted to you? How do you prepare LinkedIn? Do you know? LinkedIn is a free platform. You can make a portfolio to show off who you are in LinkedIn. In fact, they now have a freelancer search in LinkedIn. You cannot look for a job, but the clients can look for you as a freelancer. So far, it's very new. The freelancer search in LinkedIn is about 2 weeks, maybe 1 week old from this recording. So it's really important that you spice up your LinkedIn because big things are happening in LinkedIn right now. Because of the worldwide, we don't have a job for you anymore situation, and the worldwide, I don't want to work here situation. So it's really labanan ng LinkedIn. At the same time, the second thing you need to understand is you need to understand this concept called lead generation. There's 2 of this. One is you need to know how to do lead generation for clients if you want to go into B2B, business to business, working for a client who wants wants businesses to pay him or her. So B2B on. And also at the same time, you also want to learn how to do lead generation for yourself. What does that mean? Yung getting clients, at least from LinkedIn. The most obvious place to get clients would be LinkedIn because that's where the employers are. LinkedIn is an employer platform. LinkedIn is an employee platform. So a lot of people say today in 2021, there's very few jobs available. And a lot of people also say, I don't have a job anymore because of the pandemic. But the reality is there is a job for the person who knows how to do lead gen. Because lead gen is the ability to create, look for clients for yourself or for others. So you need to learn how to do that. Yeah. Now, the other place on top of LinkedIn, which you can also create a portfolio, is called Fiverr, no, with 2 R's. And it's very easy to make a profile in Fiverr. All you gotta do is pick a top-rated freelancer and copy how they make their profile. As simple as that. Locate 10 freelancers in Fiverr of your, let's see, you're doing logos. Locate the top 10 logo makers in Fiverr, compare their portfolio, their website, or their pages, make your own version based on the 10. Very easy, yeah? Setting up on Fiverr. However, there are also scams in Fiverr, so you should learn how to manage that. Figure out how to avoid the scams in a place like Fiverr. Okay, Fiverr is different from LinkedIn and places like Upwork because it's project-based contractual. So if they ask you, I'd like you to make a logo for me, usually that thing takes like 1 week and you're done. Okay. In my case, I asked somebody to edit my books, to lay out my book for Kindle. For Kindle, for Amazon. You're looking at the book on the upper right of my own volcano. The green Virtual Careers book is layouted for Amazon, so you can order that in Amazon anywhere in the world. And the layout artist of that is a Fiverr layout artist. I think we only talked for 2 weeks, and I paid her for the 2 weeks work of layouting the book, and that's it. Job done. So for quick work, you can just go to Fiverr, and I think she lives in South America. Never met her. I don't know anything about her. I didn't have to interview her. I just hired her to lay out my book. Very impersonal, but you get quick income from simple jobs like that. Her case, the job she did is called lay out your book for Amazon. That's it. Like if you know one job, one thing that is valuable, like layouting a book for Amazon, you can become a Fiverr freelancer. Jomar, how do I learn that? Well, first of all, you can just Google it, how to lay out a book for Amazon, and then you study what YouTube gives you. You practice laying out a book, a fake book for Amazon, for example, and see if it works. If it works, then you know how the skill, and then you put your name in Fiverr. Now there are tons and tons of skills you can peddle, in Fiverr. It doesn't have to be layouting a book. But remember, in Fiverr, the jobs are short. But if you want to get paid, then fine. Fiverr's great. Okay. So let me know if you want me to talk more about Fiverr. That would be a great topic to go in depth with. I've helped already people create accounts in Fiverr and get deals in Fiverr as well. Okay, let's go to the next one. Next one is, do you know how to price your service? Because most people will just keep saying, oh, how much should a copywriter make? How much should a graphic artist make? How much should a blank, 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 blank make? Wrong question, though. Wrong question. That's an old question that belongs to 5 years ago. Today, people are more aware that when you price your service, you gotta be happy with the price, yeah? And at the same time, the client needs to be happy with the price, right? Because if only you are, oh, my price is $4 million. What are you going to do? I'm gonna make a logo for the client, or $4 million. Okay, fine. You're happy, but the client isn't happy. Why? Because you need to understand that pricing your service has something to do with pricing the value of the service. You get me? Pricing the value of the service. An example of the pricing the value is like this. How much is your tuition fee? Let me give you an example. My college tuition fee is 5,000 pesos per semester. I studied for 4 years. So 4 times 5,000. This is the price my parents had to pay, 20,000 pesos, 4 years at dalawang semester. So 40,000 pesos is my college education, 40,000. So after I got my college education, I landed the job. How much did I pay to land a job? 40,000. That's the college lang. Okay, so that's having high school, elementary. Now, what is the value of the 40,000 education that I paid for? My parents paid for. Paying 4 years of my college degree landed me a job that earned me 5,000 pesos a month, multiplied by 12. 13-month pay multiplied by let's say 10 years of work. The 40,000 pesos my parents gave us 650,000 pesos if I didn't get promoted in 10 years. So what is the value of this? Okay, my sweldo was 5,000. I worked for 13 months times 10 years. So the value is 650,000 if I never got promoted, but I did. If I never got promoted, the value of my education is 650,000, at least for 10 years. Okay, but I didn't work for 10 years. I worked for 18 years. So it's 1.170 million. 1.1 million ang value. The price is 40,000. So that's Understanding the difference between price and value, just like that, will allow you to price your service and explain to the client how that price that you came up with is fair. For example, the conversation goes like this for my schooling now. Mr. Hilario, Mrs. Hilario, you need to pay 40,000 to our school so that your son can earn 1.1 million in 18 years. Is that a good exchange of value? So sabi parents ko, 40,000 bayad namin, 4 na taon na schooling. Tapos for the next 18 years, pag hindi na-promote si Jomar, 5,000 lang kita niya, meron kaming balik na 1.1 million. Okay, so do you see the disparity or the distance between the 40,000 initial investment and the 1.1 million, considering I don't get promoted at work? So that is the difference between a value and a price. Yeah. Okay, the next one is this one, very important. Nobody will teach you this because it only is important when you're hired. Do you know that when I started 12 years ago, no, in this virtual careers world, the number one way of getting a new client is referrals. It's the number one way of getting a new client. It's so funny that even if it was the number one way, people don't know how to ask for referrals. So funny, you know. But if you know how to ask for referrals, then maybe you will get more referrals. Yeah, because like, duh, that is a skill you need to learn. Yeah, how do you ask for referrals na hindi ka nahihiya and stuff like that? And that guarantees that the person, the client, will answer you with a positive statement. Okay. Hello, Eileen. So if you know how to ask for referrals, then you would be guaranteed the next client. And that next client will you ask for referrals again. You don't even have to go job hunting anymore, right? Because you know how to ask for referrals. Very, very simple. So take advantage that the number one way to get a new client is just learning to ask. Okay. Hey, next one is obtaining the getting hired mindset. That is so important. Now, this one has something to do with care. Do you care? Do you care? Yeah, Jomar, I care about my job. I care about getting hired. I care about my family. Very good. So you must add something to that. Ano yun? Well, you must add that you care for the client's business. Yeah. You care about what the client wants as a result. So, anong result? Well, everybody knows, maybe, that clients really love money. Is that right? Like, clients of virtual professionals, these clients, they need to earn, yeah? Because they love their family, they love their job, they love their business, they want to serve a lot of people. So you as a virtual professional comes in. Yes, you care about yourself, but you need to care about what the client wants. And at least 3 things the client wants. No? Yes, they want more money. Yeah, sure. But they also want to have a good name. Tama ba? A client wants to retain a good name or build yung name niya na unknown into something na good. Right? They also want that. And any other reason the client will tell you, you need to care. And that's a getting hired mindset. You just care about that. If the client says, you know what, I love the environment. I did this business because I know I'm helping the environment. Therefore, if you care about that, and that the potential client cares about that, then that's gonna help you get hired. Okay. So make sure when you're dealing with clients, you learn how to empathize, you learn how to care about what they care about. More like on top of caring for the stuff you said you already care about, like your own job, your own family, your own freedom. Okay. So the next one is, oh yeah, do you know how to get interviewed? This is so funny. Being interviewed comes in 2 ways. A lot of people think that when you say being interviewed, you gotta be impressive and stuff like that. Yeah, sort of. But the reality is, in an interview, you need to be the one also interviewing. Yeah, not just clients, no. Clients just interviewing you. In fact, if possible, maybe you can just be quiet and listen to them, if possible. No. Actually, it is possible, but a lot of people don't understand. Why should I be quiet? Shouldn't I be talking when the client asks questions? Yes, you should be talking when clients ask questions. In fact, you should be telling stories. Can you say that, please? I should tell stories, and that's true. And a lot of people don't really know how to do that. How do you tell stories? And how do I know? I have this training where we did realistic mock interviews, and voila, people were panicking because I was asking them to tell stories. Why would they panicking? I don't know. I was just saying, hey, you should tell stories about your life. And they said, oh, I don't know how to tell a story. I don't know how to tell a story. Which is really funny, but when you get them drunk or not even drunk, there is a big issue in some political thing. These people are great at telling stories, even stuff they just read the headlines, and they can tell a story and be angry about it. So funny, right? That if you can be angry at something and vent online, then you can tell a story. Remember, there are two sides of it now. Tell a story from your life, which means you have to rehearse it. It's an interview. You have to rehearse your stories. And at the same time, you have to you have to let the client tell stories as well. That's a great interview. Ask the client, what's your goal? Why are you doing this? Why are you hiring people to do this? You have to care. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. How do you react when a prospect demands stuff? What do you do? Oh, no, what do you do? What do you do? Because that's going to be something you will be, you're going to be facing. You're chatting with a potential client, right? Or in your brain, you're like afraid that the client will ask you to work at like 12 midnight to 5 a.m. In fact, you might be asking yourself to be hired, but you want to negotiate that you want to work during Philippine time. How do you do that? How do you react when they say stuff? You want to pay, you like the client, but how do you talk to them in a way that allows them to say yes to you? You understand me? Reacting to their demands. How do you do it? Okay. So that's that thing is good, because if you did the practice in your brain now, then you can answer their demands without panicking, right? So see, all these things, nobody really tells you a lot of the stuff, because I don't know, they're really just after your money. When they train you, they teach you all this other stuff, like let's do SEO and other stuff. No, when actually the most important skill ever, believe me, is not SEO. It's not this technical stuff. It's caring. It's really caring. The cursing gurus call it empathy, but before them, my gurus would call them caring. Okay, because it's true. If you care more for what the client wants, not really the client, you don't know this person, but what more for the client wants, then you will be able to get the client's attention. Is that something you are interested in? Do you want to get the client's attention? Do you want the client to say, hey, I like this person, no, I'd like to hire this person? Is that something you're interested in? I hope they say yes, no? Because if they say, I want to hire this person, and you're there, you're being attractive to them, no, then you now can do that good conversation wherein, okay, here's the rates. Let's talk about rates. And I already told you there's a way to discuss rates, no, value and price, so that you won't have a problem making them say yes. There is a way. Okay, so those are 14. I didn't take count. I think it's 14, but anyway, those are the 14 things you need to know to work online as a virtual professional. Now, these are just outside the scope of some other things, like for example, hey, so what kind of books should I read, or what kind of computer should I buy, or how do I schedule my day and stuff like that. You know what? All these questions, what is my setup? What should I do on a day-to-day basis? How do I position myself as an expert? All these things, believe it or not, I discussed this in my book. And the book is called Virtual Careers. Here is the green book down there. Yeah, it's there. It's in that book. I'm not selling you the book. You can get the book physically in Amazon. It's just look for Virtual Careers. It's exactly that. Or you can just get the ebook. I'm selling the ebook plus 14 different trainings, 14 different video trainings revolving around the ebook. Now, the price of all of this, all the 14 trainings, is in the ebook is 499 pesos, not dollars, just pesos. So what are the topics? No, the topics you've already heard. No, the topics are all these. Right. So let's it's portfolio blog from scratch. So these are demo videos. This is a demo video on how to create a cover letter. Most of the videos about 2 to 3 hours long, okay? Because we're actually doing demos. And a lot of the speakers are not just me, but also my students. They're doing the demos for you. How to create your WordPress portfolio. What are the recommended WordPress blogs that I use? Some real social media engagement secrets that people never talk about, but they always do. How do you escape literally from a WordPress trap? I do a demo on how to do that. Okay. How do you do LinkedIn preparations? We do LinkedIn changes on the spot. So this like 2-hour video before, after, and discussions. How do you do lead generation using your WordPress? What are the scams you need to avoid in Fiverr? How do you set up a Fiverr account? How do you price your service? Asking for referrals. How do you do that? You know? How do you get that mindset of getting hired? How do you do interviews? I think we have like, I don't know, 6 hours of this, not sure, of mock interviews. So you can listen to people struggle and you can say, no, I'm better than them. Let's see. If you think you're better than them, let's see. Listen to the voices. We don't have any video of the people actually in the interviews. It's all voice. So walang hiyaan, no? It's just voice. So you don't really know who's talking, but you can feel the struggle, which is fun because if you're able to go to a mock interview and listen, and you'll be smarter when it happens to you. No? And finally, lesson on reacting to prospect demands. These are individual trainings on video, and so happy to give them to you. All of these trainings for only 499, including this book, ebook, Virtual Careers, the green book. Okay. So I hope this training has helped you understand, wow, there seems to be 1,000 things you need to know, not just 14, to work as a virtual professional, correct? That's why I'm giving you the ebook, because the book, not just the ebook, the book actually contains a lot of the things you need to learn that is not covered in the training. I'm gonna open my book and tell you the contents, okay? So it talks about the demand, talks about your doubts about virtual careers, talks about your computer setup, how much can you earn, potential earnings, what should the day should look like, okay? Then it talks about positioning your resume, getting that entrepreneurial mindset, because virtual professionals are entrepreneurs, they're not employees. What kind of attitude you must have to be considered an A player. This is a word from the world of sales. Who's an A player? The person who makes a lot of money for the company. An important part of the company is an A player. They're the ones that make your salaries possible. How can you be an A player? Yeah? Now, how do you do research, and how do you show proof that you're really good? So the contents of this book, Virtual Careers, again, you can get it for a few dollars in Amazon. It's available. But you can just get the ebook and get all the 14 trainings from me there. all the 14 trainings for only 499 pesos, and I'll give you the ebook for free. But nothing's stopping you from going directly to Amazon and looking for it. It's fine. It's fine. But I suggest you get it, because get the ebook version, because that's the one that's going to give you the most bang for your 499. Yeah. Now, yeah, so that's it. I think that's all I got for today. Hey Alex, you have questions for me? Oh, where no? Anong link? You're right. I don't remember where the link is. Okay, let me look for the link. Ay, sandali lang ha. Where is the link where you can get the book? Tama nga naman. So if you're watching this on Facebook, then the link is under in the comment section or the description. If you're not in Facebook and you're watching this in a website, so the link should probably be in a website somewhere where you're watching this. Okay. So let me check lang sandali ha. Where's the link? Oh, I know. jhilar.com/17 trainings, I think. Wait. I think it's 17 trainings because the I didn't actually create 14 trainings. Yeah, it's actually 17 different trainings. Okay. As Alex said, no question, I have both ebook and physical book. I gave away a couple of copies for Christmas. Very good. Thank you, Alex, for saying that. So yeah, the website to go to is I'm gonna paste it here. It's kind of easy to remember. Well, for me, sorry. 17 trainings. jhilar.com/17 trainings. The name of the website has 17 on it because you are not getting a few. You're not getting 14 trainings, it's 17 trainings. Okay. So I'm gonna show you the link on screen. Yeah, there it is. It's jhilar.com/17 trainings. So that's it. So you get the ebook and then you also get the 17 trainings on video immediately. Okay. Thank you, Alex, for keeping me company. Alex is cooking dinner. Okay. And I hope somehow I was able to enlighten Alex here and the others who are online. Sino ba kasama natin online? Hindi ako nakakatingin kasi. So let me just check the Facebooks if there are people asking questions in the sa live stream. Grabe, 1 hour din ako nagsalita ha. So si Eileen. Okay. Check the others. Now the next show I've got is on Thursday. It's a tooltip Thursday. So we discuss tips on tools that you can use for your online career. That's exciting. So tune in on Thursday at 7 p.m. also. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, everyone. God bless. Alex, thank you.